Howdy folks, welcome to Brain Rotters. Spider-Man No Way Home is officially here, and we gotta talk about the insane post-credit scene and end credit scene that just blows the universe of Spider-Man and Doctor Strange into insane directions, and they aren't what you think. Stay with me, and spoilers ahead. Okay, the first post-credit scene, let's talk about it. Yes, I know Tom Hardy's Venom was talking all about Thanos, the Infinity Stones, catching up on Iron Man, and the entire MCU from the vacation spot that we left him in at the end of Venom Let There Be Carnage's post-credit scene. With that out of the way, let's talk about the fact that the MCU is introducing an entirely new symbiote. Now, do I think that Eddie leaving behind a piece of the Venom symbiote could mean the introduction of a new Venom in the MCU? Yes, I do think that. I mean, take your pick of all the potential new Venoms we could get, like Agent Venom, but we all know that Carnage was created by a piece of the Venom symbiote being left behind and binding to a psychopathic host. So who's to say that the new piece of Venom that has been left behind can't sprawl into an entirely new symbiote in the MCU, which means that there is potential for symbiotes that we haven't seen before. Depending on who this new piece binds to, symbiotes such as Toxin could be introduced, who was the result of a piece of Carnage being merged to someone. So there are others like Null, but that's unlikely for a few reasons because he is technically the first symbiote, but who's to say that in the MCU this new offspring can't be the first symbiote, so it could be Null all the same. The symbiote could also be Phage, who is a result of the Venom symbiote being taken and messed with, kind of lines up here. In fact, a lot of the symbiotes came from Venom in the comics, so like I said, take your pick as to who the new Venom will be. I think it will be cool to see at one point the symbiote jumping around from hero to hero and villain to villain though. Okay, now secondly, the Doctor Strange 2 trailer premiered, and we have to break down this huge trailer and all the possibilities and all the Easter eggs. So right out of the gate, let's talk about the first evil Doctor Strange. And now I know many of you may think it's the evil Doctor Strange from the What If Season 1 show, but I disagree. I think this is still a variant of Doctor Strange that we are dealing with, but the dark one from the What If had developed into a hero that saved the multiverse willingly. So truly, I think this dark Doctor Strange in the trailer is a whole other variant. In fact, I think he's supposed to be Nightmare from the comics, which I wouldn't be wrong. I mean, they both look very similar with the white painted face and the long hair. In fact, Nightmare was announced a few years back to be the villain of Doctor Strange 2 anyhow, but then there went on a huge controversy after the directors changed, and I think Nightmare remained the villain all the same, because the world that Doctor Strange was launched into, the world that evil Doctor Strange rules, it looks a lot like the world that Nightmare makes for himself in the comics, with pieces of the world falling apart and melting. Anywho, you can see Doctor Strange goes to see Wanda to see what she knows about the multiverse, and when he mentions the multiverse, she gives him this look that tells us everything we need to know, because we know that at the end of WandaVision, Wanda heard her kids out in the multiverse and she went searching, and I'm confident that she didn't find them, but learned about the multiverse all the same in her journey, and that's what's going to convince her to help Doctor Strange, because she didn't find her kids, but she can help Doctor Strange, who can likely then help Wanda find her kids in the process. Anyone else, by the way, find Wanda's home in this trailer to be a little too tranquil, like a little too peaceful? Even Doctor Strange's first shot of being there, he seemed like he noticed how tranquil it was too. See, after the events of the post-credit scene of WandaVision, when Wanda couldn't find her kids, I'm confident that she likely casted a spell that isolated her in her own dimension. We know that the Scarlet Witch is capable of chaos magic, capable of creation, so I definitely think that she created her own home again, this time in a different dimension where people can't get hurt, just like Westview. Hey, you made it this far, you might as well subscribe if you're new to Brain Rotters, as well as hitting that bell for notifications so you don't miss another video just like this one. As well, God bless. Speaking of, in the trailer we got, Wanda mentions how she was expecting to see Doctor Strange eventually to talk about the whole Westview fiasco, but he dismisses it. What if I told you this wasn't the case? See, early in production of WandaVision, the creative heads wanted Doctor Strange to eventually show up and to shut Wanda down, but a lot of conflicts like COVID came up and that just couldn't happen anymore. So this whole interaction in the trailer between Wanda and Strange could have looked a lot more confrontational had it not been for the series' changes. Next, we get a shot of Miss America all throughout the Doctor Strange 2 trailer in the Multiverse of Madness, and wow, she is involved a great deal. A lot of her powers involve traveling the multiverse and interdimensional travel to wherever and whenever she wants. It's probably how she's able to get Doctor Strange to Wanda in the first place, to be honest with you. In fact, there is a shot in the trailer where you see Christine, Doctor Strange, and Miss America all standing in front of an open door to the multiverse, so it wouldn't wouldn't surprise me if Miss America opened that door. We get a nice shot of Christine and Doctor Strange getting married, which unfortunately can mean a few things. See, I don't think this is our Stephen Strange getting married to Christine, but from what we have seen from our Stephen, he just hasn't been involved with Christine ever since 2016 and the first Doctor Strange installment. Doctor Strange hasn't even mentioned her since then, so I do think in light of that, we could be seeing a scene from the origin story of the evil Doctor Strange in this movie, of Nightmare. Because remember that what sent Doctor Strange into the wrong path in the What If show was the death of Christine, instigating that spiral. So I do think that Stephen got married in this universe and then Christine died, sending him once again into that said spiral. In the trailer, we also see Shuma Gorath, who is a very big Doctor Strange villain from the comics. Unfortunately, though, a piece of me is telling me that Shuma will end up being probably one of those throwaway villains that Doctor Strange has to fight at the beginning of the movie. It gives me those vibes. We do get a little more Mordo in this trailer, and he says that the desecration of reality won't go unpunished, which is consistent with his character, being that he wants to wipe out all of the sorcerers and such. So we could be seeing Mordo become one of the bigger bads in this movie, especially since he does say that the biggest threat to the universe is Doctor Strange himself, which does introduce Nightmare, I know, but does set up Mordo to finally be putting the crosshairs on Stephen Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Thank you all so much for watching, I appreciate it. What do you think these post-credit scenes mean for the future of the MCU? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it. We got tons more videos just like this coming out weekly. So thank you all. Take care.